back to my channel. In case you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I want you to please quickly subscribe, like, then comment immediately after this video. So today I'll be taking us on a topic, everything you need to know on random access memory. There is more to just know about the random access memory. So today we'll be looking at this particular outline here. Number one is what is RAM. Number two, what is RAM module. Number three, we have types of memory module or RAM module. Then number four, we also have the types of RAM. Number five, we have the generation of the RAM itself. Number six, you will also learn about understanding the PCs. That's something that we call PC. So you will also understand it in this lecture. Number seven, you will know the differences between RAM and the RAM module. Are we there now? Number seven, you will know the key features of RAM. Are we there now? So number eight, you will know some symptoms associated with the RAM issue. And then lastly, you will learn to troubleshoot for RAM and to fix it if potential your system is suffering from RAM issue. That is that. Now, so quickly, so before we proceed, I want to tell you, if you have not liked, you have not subscribed, you're about to learn a new thing. It is very good when you appreciate my good work too. It takes me a lot of time to put all of these things together. All right, so let's quickly go to number one. What is RAM? As we all know, RAM simply means a random access memory. How would they know? It is a technology that has adopted to store a data temporarily. Now, RAMs are very volatile. So what do I mean? They lost whatever they store the moment the system is shut down. So the moment you shut down the system, RAM will lose all the information on it. Now, so there's what we call a RAM module. So a RAM module is a board that contains the RAM chips. Now, so when I'm saying a RAM module, so this one in my hand now is a RAM module. This one in my hand is a RAM module or a memory module, either of the two, anyone that you want to call it. Now, I say a board that contains the RAM chips. So these are the RAM chips. If you look at the mount, all of these are the RAM chips. And it is designed in such a way that it can be upgraded. So now you can remove this one. It is 1 gig. You can remove it and add another one of 2 gig. Now, the types of RAM that we have what we call static random access memory. Some people call it SRAM. So the static random memory is what we call a cache memory. It is used to store small file, and then it provides for faster and easier access to information. But what I'll be talking about mostly today is the RAM, that is dynamic random access memory. So that is another type of memory. We have dynamic random access memory. So, and the dynamic random access memory is what everybody knows. And this is an example of the dynamic random access memory. You understand now? So, and the one that you will see in your laptop, your desktop, and so on and so forth. These are the example of dynamic random access memory. Now, we have the DDR1. DDR simply means double data rate. Double data rate. So we have DDR series of dynamic random access memory. So from there, now we have them in generations. So we have the one that is called SDRAM, that is synchronous dynamic random access memory. It is the older version of DDRAM. DDR-RAM is no longer in use any longer now. And another one, the one that now follow it, is the DDR1. That's another generation of RAM. It's older version also. You understand now? It's older version, and you can see them in all this first gen system, second gen system. Now we have DDR2. We have DDR3, we have DDR4, and we have DDR5. So if you don't know what DDR means, I've just said it now. Double data rate. Now, so all of these things are under the dynamic random access memory that we all know. Are we there now? Now, for the memory module also, we have different type of memory module. I hope you are getting what I am trying to say. Now, usually we call this one to memory. Everybody, all computer engineers, we call this memory for you. Yes. Or they will call it RAM. Yes. Why? But in essence, this what you are looking at me in my hand now is called memory module. Memory module. Why? Because it's one that contain the chips of the RAM itself. So this is like a house of RAM, because the RAM will not be able to enter the system directly by itself. So this one, this memory module you are looking at now, this memory module you are looking at now, these are the RAM on it. So it consists of RAM chips. You understand now? So we have this one too in number. We have three types of memory module. Now we have SODIMM, we have DIMM, and we have SIMM. Now DIMM simply means dual inline memory module. Those are the ones that you find in your desktop. We have small outline dual inline memory module. Those are the ones that you find in your laptop. Example is this that you find in your laptop. And then I'll also be showing it. You can also see them. As I'm holding it like this now, you will also be seeing the pictures in this side. You understand that? So in case you cannot see this one that I'm holding properly, you should be able to see all this one as well. So that is that now. Now, so there's what we call PCs. PCs. You must have seen it before. PC, you see a RAM that they wrote PC on. Now, most of them, PC simply refers to the specification of RAM. Now, example of PC now, like specification now. So we have PC2. PC2 is referring to, okay, a kind of RAM that will be there. That is DDR2. PC3 for DDR3. PC4 for DDR4. Then PC5 for DDR5. Hope we are able to get that. It's just a RAM specification. When you hear the word PC, is a RAM specification. Now, so having learned that, what is a RAM socket? A RAM socket is a connector on the motherboard where a RAM module is connected to. Now, and the same thing that happen. So in front of the RAM module, you always see, or RAM socket, you always see PC2 or DDR2 telling you the type of RAM that will be inside that RAM socket. Now, because DDR1 module memory can never fit into DDR2 RAM sockets. Now, DDR3 RAM module can never fit into DDR4 RAM sockets. Hope you're able to get that now. So they have to be compatible. And that is where the understanding of BC and not PC come in. What are the key features of a RAM? Number one is multitasking. And it is with the aid of RAM that you can open multiple apps together at the same time. If not, now you are doing something on your phone or on your laptop. Now you see that you are running multiple applications together. Why you can do that is because of the availability of the RAM inside the system. That is number one. Number two is increased performance. You are able to run whatever you want to run on that system at a very good speed because of the RAM. That is another thing that the RAM provided for. Temporary storage. As I said before, I said that RAM is volatile. So it can only remember everything that you are doing when your computer is still on. So the moment it's off, all the information is deleted. So it doesn't store the information. Are we there now? So RAM module, RAM in itself, help you to store temporary file. Are you there now? Another one is flexibility. RAM can be upgraded and it can be downgraded. So it is flexible. You understand now? And many other things as you are seeing in this material, you just go through them by yourself too. But at least you have been able to get something from this session. So the next thing I will go to today is the symptoms associated with the RAM issue. So this is one of the things that I just want people to know. Because if you know this one, I've seen several people here in my office and they will come keep complaining to me. I'll just look and I'll smile. So there are some things that you could do by yourself, even without needing an expert computer engineering, before you could do them by yourself. And that is one of the essence of this video. Now, this video is not only to teach you, but also to guide you as well. Are we there now? So one of the RAM issue is blank screen. You could on your system, you know it is on, but the next thing is that it's not displaying anything. So that is a blank screen. So it's one of the faults associated with the RAM issue. That's number one. Another one is beep. You on your system, it just be saying ping, 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 ping. You hearing that sound. Yeah, I know most of you, if you have faced any RAM issue before, you must have heard that sound. Ping, ping, ping. No, I've seen the such a RAM issue. Something that you could just look at yourself and you will do by yourself. You understand? And where the RAM is not very far from the system. So one of the problem is the beeping. Another symptom for RAM issue is the system crashes or freeze. You just see that your system freeze. It's no longer going anywhere again. Or you will see that it just disrupts. Or it can even went off. Yes. It's one of the things that RAM can cause. So don't panic, don't be afraid. In this tutorial, I will also tell you how to solve all those problems. Alright now. Another one is failure to boot. I think I've said that before. Failure to boot. And then it's also one of the RAM issue. Now, let me now go to the final one for today. That is troubleshooting the RAM. Now, this is one of the most complex part of computer engineering, and that is what most computer engineers will do. And by the time they tell you that they want to troubleshooting means simply means detecting faults. You understand now? Trying to analyze where a fault of the system is. And now for RAM, if you want to troubleshoot for RAM, the number one thing is that to determine whether it is RAM or it is not RAM that is causing an issue on a system. One, you will lose the system from the back. Remove the RAM, clean the RAM. Look at this pin here. You will clean this pin here. You can use something like this to clean it, or you use a white handkerchief to clean it, and then you slot it back into your system and see if it will on. Now, if it doesn't on, you will check the RAM compatibility. I have two different type of RAM with me here. I have PC3 with me, PC3 and PC3L. PC3, sorry, and PC3L. Now, this PC3 and PC3L actually look the same. You don't have to argue it. They are even the same because even the pin is the same. This one too is the same. Now, so when you put, if your system is using PC3 and you added PC3L, it will not on. It will not display. You on the system, it will not on. So one thing you have to confirm which kind of RAM is your system rating using. Now, from this picture, look at what I cycled there now. You see PC3 and PC3L. So that's an example. So PC3 and PC3L, the way they are in this picture now is how it is. So look at where it is rating in your own RAM and be sure it is the same thing. That is one. And if you now try that one, you now make sure that okay, it is the same thing and you have cleaning, it doesn't work. All right. Now, but if your system is still displaying, but it is freezing, you can run a what we call diagnostics on it. You run to test whether the RAM is working perfectly. But in case it doesn't work, what I would recommend is that make sure you get the compatibility of your system. If it is DDR1 or DDR2 and DDR3, go to the market, tell them you want to buy DDR1 RAM memory. They will say it to you. It's quite a lot. It's not very expensive. or you can even browse it and order it from anywhere. You understand now? So if they once they give it to you, make sure it is the same thing, and before you leave there, plug it in inside the RAM socket, and then your system should work. If it is a RAM issue, if you see all of those symptoms that I just said earlier, so your system should display, and you are good to go. Do you see now? It's very interesting. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you enjoy it. If you have not liked my video, please like and share and comment also. You understand now? Please, anywhere you are confused, comment in this comment section. I'll be glad to help. Thank you very much. Bye.